Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Buckeye Weekly Podcast. I'm Tony Gerdeman here, as always, with Tom Orr. Tom, how is it going?
That was a little bit formal. It's, Tony, I am well. And yourself?
We've been replaced by replicants. You can tell by our emphasis on the wrong syllables. So,
M-dash.
Hello, everybody. We are here on campus. Wanted to talk on this episode about some of the stuff Ryan Day had to say about the Ohio State linebackers and some of the stuff that we've speculated on about just how deep this room is going to go, because there are significant options. And we know they went into the portal to get Christian Alliegro to pair with Peyton Pierce, who is the guy at middle linebacker, but may not be the only guy at middle linebacker based on what other guys are doing. But on Saturday, Ryan Day was asked about the linebackers and mentioned that, first I want to start with the young guys, basically what he said about TJ Alford and Riley Pettijohn. Mentioned doing well. They've bought into the special teams aspect, which is something we've talked about in the previous show about the true freshmen, where if you buy in there and you do well there and you show that you can be trusted there, then the more opportunities will come to play defense or offense. Now, we've seen TJ Alford a ton in the spring. We've seen him a bunch when we've been out there in fall camp. Riley Pettijohn is a guy that we did not get to see in the spring. Have seen him and heard really good things and talked about some of these things on the Buckeye Insiders message board. But two young guys that are going to be counted on, two true sophomores who got their feet a little bit wet last year, and now they got to jump into the pool head first here.
They do, and it feels like the way Ryan Day talked about them, it feels like they are at least on the way to being ready. Yep. You may not be quite at the level. They are very, very high in Peyton Pierce. So that is a standard. I saw a graphic from PFF where, the standard disclaimer on PFF. Yes. If it agrees with your priors, then it's meaningful, and if not, It's useless. Well, Peyton Pierce was the second highest rated returning linebacker in the Big Ten. So that sort of agrees with our priors, so therefore it is a meaningful stat.
Which Hoosier was first?
I don't think it was a Hoosier.
Wow, I mean, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that's a good question.
But those two guys, athletic and highly touted, as we know. Riley Pettijohn's been working basically everywhere, from what we've seen and what we've heard, just trying to find that spot that suits him best. That's where Matt Patricia and James Laurinaitis come in terms of, do you want Riley Pettijohn as a will? Do you want him as a Sam? Can he hold up as a Sam? Do you want him rushing the passer, or is he, does he flex out and is he defending a tight end or something like that? So they're still trying to find these things. I've seen mostly TJ Alford at will, inside, off the ball, and so there is a world where those two can get snaps together, even while they are certainly also competing to be that third linebacker at this point.
Yeah, you've got guys, they always talk about wanting to cross-train guys and where it's not just, I'm a Mike and that's the only thing I can do. They want especially the Will and the Mike to be basically interchangeable. And the Sam you're going to see, it feels like you're going to see more of the Sam this year. And we should probably take a second to explain the terms that we're using here. They're all based on the first letter of the side of the formation. So the Mike is the middle linebacker, the Will is the weak side linebacker, the Sam is the strong side linebacker. So that's when we're using those terms, that's where those names come from. I think they have, Peyton Pierce he's going to be the starting Mike. I think that's pretty safe right now. Christian Alliegro, you can see him on either side outside there, and I think you probably have some flexibility with the other guys as well. And this doesn't even include Qua Russaw, he's not with the linebacker room.
No.
He's been with Larry Johnson. We talked to him last week, and he said very clearly, I've always been with Larry Johnson, but he was an outside linebacker at Alabama. So where does he fit in? Is he sort of an edge rusher in passing situations, where it's a 3rd and 8? You bring on Qua Russaw and he's sort of filling the spot of the Sam, but he's not one of the, 4 defensive linemen, but he's also not a linebacker, but he sort of takes one of those spots.
And he's always standing up. He's never in a three-point stance.
Right.
He did say he's a pass rush specialist, but will also be one of the outside linebackers in an Okie look. And an Okie look is a 5-man front. Basically, it's a 3-4, but the two outside linebackers get up on the edge, and now you've got a 5-2 front basically, and then you rush the passer or do whatever. Certainly he will be rushing the passer in that, and that's similar to what he did at Alabama as well. So it's all familiar to him, and but that Tom is different than, he's not going to be off ball.
Right.
And he said he's not done any of that, and so don't expect that. You don't necessarily want him in coverage at this point because he's not doing it, which is Sam will have to at some point flex out and defend somebody. And when I saw them doing it early in fall camp at Ohio State, it was not easy because there was no nickel at that point. So, oh gosh, here comes Chris Henry Jr. into the slot. Good luck, Christian Alliegro, and it did not go well. So you're sometimes going to have those matchups, and Qua Russaw more of a pass rusher than a pass coverage guy. But Christian Alliegro, it just seems like he's 1A with Peyton Pierce is 1B. He is the will. Now when they go three linebackers, sounds like he is the Sam. And so he'll go from, and this is what he did at Wisconsin. This is exactly what Arvell Reese did last year. Some downs you'll see him standing next to Sonny Styles last year, Arvell Reese. Other downs you'll see him on the line of scrimmage. Same thing you're going to see with Christian Alliegro, I believe. Same thing we've seen from him so far in camp. The interesting thing there, though, is like Riley Pettijohn has also been doing some of that stuff as well. He's not as big as Christian Alliegro. He's more of a 6'2", 240, 235 rather than the 6'3", 6'4", 245 that Christian Alliegro is. Basically the exact same size as Arvell Reese.
Yeah.
So that's why one of the reasons they went and got him. But they have some flexibility, as you said, and Ryan Day said he thinks they're going to play more guys this year. There's going to be more of a rotation. So I still think that all four of those guys are going to play.
I think so too. I think you're going to see more three linebackers at a time, but you're going to see probably all four of those guys out there. Just if they feel like they're ready, put them out there. There is always that concern that you're going to get guys out of rhythm. You're going to have people not feeling like they're completely in the game. That is a legitimate, fair concern, and that's something that we talk about with running back rotation and wide receiver rotation and all that kind of stuff as well. Absolutely valid at the linebacker position as well. But when you're looking at, hey, you might have to play 15 games, hey, you might have to play 16 games, if you're going to be playing three linebackers at least a decent chunk of the time, you got to have more than three linebackers ready to go. You have to have someone else where someone goes down with an injury, someone is just battered and bruised and not 100%, or someone has played 45 snaps and it's 98 degrees and the humidity is 95%. You're going to need to have some additional depth there. And I'm fully expecting four guys to play. Is it possible? Is it possible that you see five guys? I have kind of gone back and forth on this. I think you're going to see a fifth linebacker out there in meaningful snaps, maybe at times, but not as a every game thing. Right,
and not necessarily instead of this person or that person. We have been talking on the Buckeye Insiders message board about a freshman who is getting some opportunities in a package as an extra linebacker type. So you can find, I think that was maybe Thursday's practice report. Again,
there have been a lot of practice reports.
Just sign up. There's plenty of practice reports for you to go through, plenty of intel for you if any of this is interesting to you. And if it is, if you want to hit the thumbs up, we'd appreciate that. If you've not yet subscribed to BuckeyeInsiders.com, either the site or the YouTube channel, we would love to have you do that. And of course, 5-star rating and review on the audio side. So that will do it from here. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and we will talk to you guys later.